பாசம் தாக்காதோ உடைய வீரத்தின் சொந்தமாக செய்தாரோ உயிரே 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 ஒரு புது முகம் கண்டு கொஞ்சம் சிரித்திடுவோம் மனமே 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 நீ அச்சப்பட்டு கடந்ததை முயன்றிடுவோம் யாரோ கொடுத்த கனவை தினம் தப்பிக்கொண்டு ஓடும் இந்த அச்சடித்த நாளை விட்டு வா
உன்னை முதலென கொண்டு விரிந்திடும் நீட்சியேதான் உலகம் உலகத்தில் உள்ள அதிசயம் எல்லாம் உன்னிடமும் அடங்கும்
உன் பயணத்தில் எல்லாமே பாதை நீ உனக்குள்ளே சென்றால் என் போதை உன் கூட வரும் ஆகாயத்தை சிறு பொருள் பணம் மறக்கிட முடிந்திடுவா ஒரு கூட்டு கோயில் உள்ளிருந்தால் அருவிகள் அறிந்திடுவா தலைவா 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 என்றும் நீ உனக்கே தலைவா 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 இனம் வாழ்ந்திருப்போம் இறைவா தலைவா 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 வேறு யார் உனக்காய் வருவா
Say no both times. One time you're going to truth, one time you're lie. I'm going to challenge you up to tell a lie. Before we even begin, pupils of your eyes keep flicking to this hand, the right hand. If you somehow guilty about something in there, the money's in that hand. Open your eyes. Yes. So, looking at the right hand is the most common tell. Everyone does. Okay. Say no both sides. This end. Say no. This end. Okay, that was better with the eye. But that second no, she wasn't so sure. Is that hand again? Open one. Okay, excellent. Try it one more time. So this time, stay straight ahead and be ready with both of those nose. Make sure they both identical. Okay, say no both times. This end. This end. Okay, that was pretty good. So this is where the psychology comes into play. The first two times she went for the right hand. Most people at this point will swap to the left hand. But as I'm sure you know, she's not most people. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. Say nothing, just think that comes. I'm going to hang one of these cards on each of their hands. This is to help me remember which hand I believe is empty. How's that going? Say no, is that card? Say nothing, is that card? Is that? So, I'll put a card on each of their hands. The hand, that hand empty, that hand empty, that hand empty, and that hand empty. And that's like that. One more thing. I asked each of you so that was to distract themselves from thinking about which hand button was in. I lied about that, or at least I was being somewhat disingenuous. Because in all honesty, it made them a lot easier for me. Because they thought they had a method of beating themselves, and I thought about actually trying to beat themselves. Unlikely, it's yellow. That's why I had to. I had no choice there. But thank you very much. Okay.
You did well in addition to
I'm going to try something that I've never tried before. And I was very dubious about how to be more on trying to sell something you don't need. But the notion of influence has been going back 20 years. The most influential writing in mankind. The endemic use of amoral language will lead some to expect this is part of man's biology. And whilst we are accustomed to this as an indication about a godless society, we must censure such indecent thoughts, etc., etc. But it's not the easiest to understand. Okay? In that way, the envelopes will end up in a completely random order. Each of you are going to do this. At the end, I will pass them out in the order they're in. From the top, whichever one is on the bottom, that will be my envelope. Okay? It's simple as that. So, start with yourself. Mix or unmix? Mix. Look very careful to make sure I don't cheat. Keep going.
don't
Don't mix.
mix.
Mix. Perfect. Okay. Same for you. Mix or unmix? Okay. Perfect.
Don't mix.
Perfect. No, don't mix. No? No? So this is the order you've got these left. 3, 1, 2, 4, and that leaves on the bottom envelope number 5, my envelope, so just leave it there for you. Now they had complete control over how they were mixed, therefore which envelope you ended up with. The one thing you didn't have control over those is where you stood. I told you where to stand. So if you like, you can move yourselves around. You can stand somewhere else. If you don't like the person you're standing next to, feel free. Or just randomly move yourself. You can do whatever you like. You can stay where you are, or you can move yourselves around. Feel free to do whatever you like. You sure? Does everyone agree they should stay where they are, or does anyone think they should move? Stay. Everyone's telling you to stay. You're going to do what everyone's telling you to do?
Yeah.
So you happy then? Find a chance?
Yeah.
Okay. This is my envelope. I can ask you just to open that envelope up and take out a piece of paper. Inside there, you'll find a check. Now, can I ask, how's your eyesight? Do you want to stand up? Can I ask you just to read out what it says at the back of the check? Whoever chooses envelope number 5, written on this check. Whoever chooses envelope number 5 will be given the amount of money written on this check. Now, sadly for these 4, it was me who ended up with envelope number 5, so they don't get the money. But one thing, can I ask you just to read out the amount of money that says there on the check? Excuse my handwriting. 3,124. 3,124. If you had free will, do you think you would have ended up in that same position? I gave you every chance to change and move, but you decided to stay exactly where you are. Open up each of your envelopes. Don't take out a piece of paper yet. I may have got this horribly wrong, and if I haven't, I've probably got some spelling horribly wrong. Let's start off here. Take yours out, just show everyone. Yes. Go ahead. Finally. Anyone here sold one of these varieties? Okay, there are 43, really. There are 43 quintillion different patterns you can get one of these into, which is very good. One side alone has 10 million random patterns. World record for sold is 2.5 seconds, which is genuinely extraordinary. You're not that sold. I'm going to give you this overview for 10 seconds just to be expressions. This is how you get the same thing together at the same time. You're going to use your hands. Completely failed to solve it, which is one of these days it's going to be solved and I'll just end there. But today's not the day. So, everything. Second, I'm going to both shut your eyes, relax, and whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, imagine that person. Now for the weird. Once you've got your eyes closed, I may touch one. Nothing untoward. It's very much so that's a bit in your eye. If you feel me touch you, don't react. Don't open your eyes. Don't smile. Say anything. Don't do anything. Just imagine touching one another in the same place. I'll ask everyone to keep really quiet just for the next couple of minutes. So, shut your eyes and just relax. Imagine you've got that Rubik's Cube. Imagine this. Now think of that film. Both of you. And then just take the legs down inside your head and just throw it into the other person's head. If you felt the touch, you please raise your right arm. With your fingers of your right hand, point to the last place you felt touch. Keep your eyes closed, lower your arms. Again, imagine you've got that Rubik's Cube here. Imagine that first. Touch your legs going inside your head. Just throw. It's the other person's head. And again, if you felt me touch you, please raise your right arm. This time, with the fingers of your right hand, indicate how many times you felt me touch you the last time. Finally, please point to the last place you felt me touch you. That's enough. Perfect, you can open your eyes. Thank you very much. Very quickly, I'll explain what happened here and other people can explain it very quickly. Who's actually touched on the nose at the beginning? I touched you on the nose. You also pointed to your nose as well. No one went near your nose. It wasn't until right at the end that I touched you on the back of the shoulder. And you seemed to point to, not quite sure where you're pointing to your back but a little bit lower. That could be a height difference. No one went near. Yeah, you physically felt it. What you've seen here is empathy. This is the basics of how I do some of what I do. I always try this with couples. If it doesn't work, I have to make a really hurried excuse and quickly move on to the next thing. When it does work, it shows a genuine link between two people, and that is magnificent. So, a couple of final things. You're thinking of a film, yes? Yeah. You're familiar with this film, yeah? Spell this, I don't have my spell, I had enough trouble with your names there. So, imagine this film playing. Imagine if there's any really famous actors or actresses in it, imagine their name on the picture. This is my head. Yeah, no, I think that's it. Yeah, now I've got that. Okay. Wait, what's the film you're thinking of?
Rocky.
Rocky. One very final little thing. I had been mixed that Rubik's Cube purely to help them get the same thoughts in their head at the same time. But one other thing I mentioned that there's a 1 in 10 million chance of any one side of the cube ending up in one particular pattern. And I give you that envelope. There's a big piece of paper inside there. If you take that out, yeah, all of it, it's all just one big piece of paper. On here, I have a picture of one side of a Rubik's Cube. I'd ask you to hold that like so. And here, we have red, yellow, yellow, white, red, blue, orange, green, and white. And that's a 1 in 10 million chance. Thank you very much.
நெஞ்சுக்குள்ள நீ மின்னல் அடிப்ப கண்ணுக்குள்ள நீ கதை படிப்ப குண்டு குழிவா சிரிப்பால பெத்து பொடி.
We're not a particularly emotional family, but recent events have shown us that it's best to tell people how you feel about them before it's too late. It's been a difficult few years for us, and Appa has had to bear the brunt of our anger after losing Amma, and he's probably had to hear a lot of us saying, if Amma was here, she would have done this or that. Amma isn't here, but we are grateful that you are. I know how much she appreciated, how much you stepped up in the last part of her life with helping her with her personal care and things like that. She may not have been a fan of your cooking at the time, but I'm sure she'll be impressed as to how much it's improved. I, for one, am certainly grateful to come home to hot food cooked for me. With that and living rent-free at the age of 36, no wonder I'm still at home. As I get older, I realise that I'm not sure how much we appreciated what you did for us when we were younger. When Amma couldn't drive, you drop us all off at school, commute to London for work, come back and take us to lessons, rush back for every parents' evening, eat, sleep and repeat. I'm not sure how you did that for so long, because I struggle with my 20-minute commute to and fro work, and I spend the rest of the evening horizontal watching Netflix in bed. Thank you for also dropping us off and driving us everywhere and being our own personal Uber service. You used to pick us up from uni, drop us off on our placements, and even drop me off every week to Chichester for a year, even though I had a driver's license. Everyone thought you and Amma were very strict, but you actually gave us a lot of freedom, and in return, we were as honest as we could be with you. Obviously, out of the three of us, I tested the boundaries the most. Having three girls made my dad very patient when it came to shopping, and until recently, I thought it was normal for a man to come shopping, silently stand in every shop, and intermittently take trips to the car to put the shopping away. Apparently, it isn't. Although I do miss Amma on the shopping trips, telling me not to waste my money, I certainly do miss Appa saying you're only young once and buy whatever makes you happy. Not helpful when you end up with three versions of the same thing. Grandparenthood suits you well, and I think you've ended up doing more childcare as a grandparent than as a father. Although I've had to remind you at times that you are an adult and you don't need to give in to Orion, I think you make a wonderful grandfather. The kids are your biggest offenders, and Annie and Addy always tell us off if we argue with you. Don't carry your luggage or don't wait for you. Orion unfortunately never met Amma, but he's become very close with you as you managed to work from home and look after him. And he always used to interrupt your work meetings calling you Daddy, asking you for apple juice. I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone for coming, and I'm just going to pass it on to Annie and Addy, who just want to say something very small. Who wants to go first? Hello.
Amma is very nice. He makes food with lots of spice. He gives us lots of snacks, but never ever gives us smacks. Amma is very cool. Dear Amma, one of my favourite memories with you is when we were little and we used to get on buses with you, me and Andy from Clarence Avenue to High Street for no purpose. For no purpose at all, but purely for my pleasure. Another one of my favourite memories is when we go on holiday with everybody and we get to do whatever we want while we play with your room and everyone else is there. I miss the messes we have made whilst we play or watch TV. For example, when you play with Orion and he makes a chaotic mess. You still clean up while we sit down and watch TV. Thank you for being there for us, supporting us and motivating us when we are sad or worried. You were the first person we want to tell, after our parents, when we have achieved something amazing, as you are truly happy for us and congratulate us for what we have done. We wish you an amazing 70th birthday, and we hope you enjoy the surprise.
மாடன் ரதியே உன்னை பிக்கப் பண்ணிடவா நடக்கும் நதியே புது சொட்டையும் கட்டிடவா ஆன் த வேயில் நம்ம ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸையும் கூப்பிடவா ஃபுல் ஃபன் மூடில் ஒரு டான்ஸையும் போட்டுடவா ஜாலியா நீ வாடி இது பிரைவேட் பார்ட்டி தான் டிஜே எல்லாம் வச்சு செய்வோம் அட்ராசிட்டி தான்
ஜாஸ் மியூசிக் வேணா அடி நம்ம வீட்டு தான் பங்குரெல்லாம் தாண்டி வரும் லிட்டில் ஹார்ட் தான்
அவ வந்தாலே நம்ம தந்தாலே என்ன கொண்டாலே அவ கூட்டானா டான்ஸாலே
மச்சானே கட பச்சானே ஃபுல் டச்சானே இப்போ ஹை வோல்ட் சுச்சானே டார்லிங் பிரின்ஸே உன்னை பிக்கப் பண்ணிடவா லவ் ஃபீல் சாங்கா போட்டு சவுண்டையும் ஏத்திடவா ஒரு கண்டில் உன்னை கொஞ்சல பார்த்திடவா போற போக்கில் உன் கையையும் கொடுத்திடவா